Hi, welcome to my channel for Evolved Humans. I am Ms. Day. This is a collective reading. I'm a medium, so sometimes the past loved ones come through. If they do, I will say so. Okay. Crazy. So it's like I'm feeling like two different levels right on top of one another. It's almost like there's a really headstrong, reserved, feels feminine. It feels feminine. I feel like there's a really headstrong, reserved type of energy. And yet underneath, I'm also feeling almost like an outbursty, like I'm losing my mind, I can't do this, like this is too much on me. And yet you're so fast. It's so crazy. Okay, so I feel like I'm talking to two different people. I feel like probably a lot of you. But it's almost like, okay, so why are they lining up then? So I feel like one of you is someone's really reserved and like holding, it's almost like you're a silent observer. I've definitely felt that one before in here. Silent observer, you've gone through some stuff. Okay, so here's the deal. I feel like whoever I'm talking to, you have taken some time alone. You spend actually probably quite a bit of time alone. I think that you're more alone than people know. Like I think that people think that you're fine. And maybe you are fine. But I think that you have this for years maybe, for a long time. I just feel like you feel like you're alone and that you've discovered, that like there are people you can't be around. There are things that like you can't go into. It's not a depressed type of feeling, but it's just kind of like alone. Like you just decided long ago that alone was better. That's kind of cool. But I think the reason it feels kind of sad is because I think that was for a reason, a lot of reasons. I think a lot of things led up to that. So I think that you blossomed at some point in a really beautiful way. Now it's aligning. I think you blossomed in a really beautiful way at some point. And you feel like you're being tortured by something. Like this is kind of weird. I feel like you feel like you're being tortured by something, even though you've done the best you could, you've had a level head about it. It's like I think you are feeling like someone is, or was, maybe in a relationship or something, torturing you with your own like shortcomings. It's crazy. I feel like I'm talking to feminine and masculine. So this silent, reserved type of feeling, I think you're steadfast. I think that you are solid amidst everyone else's crumbling emotions. I think that you can keep yourself solid. And I think that people accidentally think that means you don't actually experience all the stuff under the surface. And for that reason, I don't think you've expressed it to someone over the years as much as you needed to. Like we all need to speak or write things out just to like kind of, just to accept what we're aware of and to process it. And I feel like you've had a steadfast kind of, it's almost like you kind of had a shunned feeling. I don't know that you were particularly shunned, but I feel like you kind of felt like alone was the way to go for you. I'm not really sure what that's for. Why? Because there's a lot that caused it. So I feel like whatever's going on with this torture feeling is interesting because, maybe that's it. I think that you took things much more tenderly in your youth than those around you were aware of. I think that you thought, I'm talking to awakened people again. I'm talking to awakened people because I think that you thought everyone was judging you. I think you still feel that way in a weird way, in a way that like is kind of hard to understand for some people. I think that you felt in your tenderness in youth when you were so open, so aware of the sparkly surroundings of the earth. I think you were so open to all those different frequencies that everything just came right through. Everything went right through. So it was like, oh, dagger. And they had no idea. And if they did, I think you were sensitive. I think that's what that was. And I think you actually were very caring and nurturing to people, and you never really got that kind of credit. It was like a phantom thing. So that's not all of you. That feels a different place. Okay, so I think that you don't think others will understand you. And I don't think, yeah, this is like the last reading. I feel like I'm speaking to people who are masculine kind of led. I feel like you have developed into being very masculine led because it started with you receiving all, masculine and feminine. It started with you receiving it all. But I think you got hit in certain areas and it made you feel as though you couldn't expose those. Like that was early childhood that you learned that. What a sponge. That is, okay. So this is emotional. This is kind of like, I hope this is a big moment for somebody because okay. So when you're experiencing what you experience and you feel like you have to keep yourself kind of walled off and left all alone, I think that your defense mechanism developed in a way that kind of blocked you from experiencing emotional safety. I think whoever I'm talking to too finds like solace in music. I think you like music. A lot of us do, right? Everybody likes music. But I think that whoever you are, you've got songs that take you back because they got you through. And I think you feel trapped in that. So I want this to be a moment that matters because I think this was one of the biggest moments of my life when I recognized that I was super anxious and felt insecure in groups of people. And I felt judged by them. I didn't judge myself. I'm cool with what I wear. I'm cool with my hair. I'm cool with myself. And yet I felt like if I was in a crowd of people, like 10 years ago, when I didn't know I was talking to dead people, and when I didn't know I could experience other people's energy and stuff, it's like I felt like I was being judged. You know how kids in this is feeling like a childhood type of experience, like you must have felt this. So apply this to now, because this is coming through as your child, okay? You, child. Or maybe your child, but you. Keep this awareness if you have children, because this is a part of you. So I feel like when you were connected and hit with those tender things, you had to grow in the masculine, kind of walling that off, and you didn't even notice. And you walled off this huge part of yourself that it needs to flow. It wants to flow. It's trying to flow. It yearns to flow. That's what you want in life. This is crazy cool. And yet it's not aligned yet with you now. Because what you have to do, I feel like the message is listen to songs that you listened to that made you feel like yourself when you were younger. Because I think that feeling of judgment from others, it bleeds into you, but it's not because you're insecure. It feels that way, and it's like you wall up when you're in a group or a crowd, or if you're around a huge something, or if you're just feeling a lot, there are times when you feel like you have to wall up because you feel like everyone's looking. You feel that way, even if you don't consciously think it. And that's not because they're judging. It's because you feel them. You actually are sensing them already. So when someone's connected to you and you just think about how it feels when you know that someone's been there, like that you can't see, like past loved ones or guides or something. It's like when someone's connected to you emotionally, you may not know it, but you're wondering, why do I feel that connection there? So it's like insecure and feeling judged by others, but not characteristically judging yourself. That's something that's more of an awareness thing. That's like you need to be you're being made aware just how much of a connection you have because you walled something off in your youth and you have full capacity because you're aware of other people's energies. I think you have to be alone because I think you feel like you're too heavy. And that's because you're feeling all of them. You're not too heavy. But look at what that's done. That's not fair what that's done. To feel like everyone was looking at you and just never feel like you felt right in place. That's interesting. I'm not talking to the same people, I don't think. Or maybe I am. Maybe it's a different level of this. So I feel like that's your job. They want you to get out of that by healing from it. Heal from what made you wall up, because that wall up defense mechanism, it's time for you to let it go. You have spent time in I feel like you've had time to recognize what's around you. Like there are things around you. But what they want you to know is you're taking your reactions personally. And all you're doing is reacting. You are not nuts. Like, cut yourself a break and don't think that no one will ever understand you, because you are understood. It's really important for you to take that. And so I think that going forward, like I said, listen to the music that either made you heal and makes you feel like, you know what I think they want to remind you of is just how deep you are. Just how much there is under that surface. Because when you reconnect to these things, I think you're going to recognize, like, there is so much understood. There is such a large energy and a large person under there that you are not destined to feel like an outsider. You are not destined to be stuck wondering why it's uncomfortable in crowds. You've got to allow yourself to experience things and heal so that you can take the next move. That's a pretty deep one. Okay, so I will leave it at that. And I really hope that's helpful, because I think the message in this one is you're going to do this. You need to feel safe. You need to know you're safe. You're safe opening up why you do these things, and you will not be rushed. That's another thing. Whoever I'm talking to, I feel like what they want you to know is your call. You do this on your time. You do not have to do this on somebody else's time frame or on someone else's mood or whim. This is crazy. I feel like you're so untrusting of being emotionally exposed and safe. And that's your right. So take it. Whenever you receive this message, if this feels like you're feeling it in your gut, this is for you. This is for you. And they don't want you to miss the message, because you've got to understand that you are understandable. You're not just the only one that feels that way. You're seen. Okay, I'm going to end it at that. I'm going to cry. Okay, if you like the way that I do my readings, please subscribe to my channel and allow for notifications for when I upload new videos. This has been a really cool learning experience for me, and I really love it when you leave comments and let me know when they apply to you as well.